One of the most haunted men in Marvel is, ironically, the Ghost. To the Ghost, everything is a conspiracy, and he's the only one who can see it. This paranoid mania, together with his invisibility, molecular phasing, and extensive weaponry, makes him a very dangerous man. Dangerous enough to scare even Iron Man. So let's see what makes this spectral supervillain so special in the Ghost's very own Supervillain Spotlight. For years we had zero insight on the Ghost's origins. He was just a crazy superpowered mercenary, and that's all that mattered. However, years after his first appearance, we finally get some backstory, and it's told by the Ghost himself. But whether we believe him is another story. Thunderbolts issue 151 brings us Ghost's story, a tale of terror and terrorism. Even from the Ghost's own mouth, we don't learn his true name, but we do learn he apparently had a great job at a tech firm known as Omnisapient Systems, ran by three big bosses: Charles, Neil, and Dana. The man who would be Ghost was so great at his job, the three bosses put him in charge of Omnisapient's newest secret project, something humankind had never seen before. Intrigued by the job and touched by the boss's trust, Ghost agreed. The secret project was to develop a processor that could alter technology's physical state. Obviously the same tech the spooky soldier would be known for in his future life as the Ghost. The man spent all his time working for Omnisapient, and it paid off. Money, respect, and the girl of his dreams all came to him through his extreme work ethic. But all it takes for someone to go mad is one bad day. After the death of his girlfriend, Ghost gave up on the real world. He linked his body and consciousness to his computers as a way to both up his work output and to avoid any more emotional pain. But what he found when he was linked into Omnisapient's databases was Ghost's worst nightmare: a conspiracy against him. The first of many. Omnisapient had paid his girlfriend to love him, to steer him into working harder for them, but when she demanded more, one of the bosses had her killed, and she wasn't the only one. Ghost sees the hitman coming, but he can't do anything about it. His apartment is blown to bits, but Ghost somehow isn't. He was still hooked up to the Ghost tech when the bomb went off, and the extreme environmental shift triggered a strange change in the self-made cyborg. He survived, but his employers won't. One of Ghost's bosses tried to have him assassinated, but which one? Charles, Neil, Dana? It doesn't matter, because Ghost gets them all. Dana gets a taste of what Ghost went through when he bombs an apartment building. Charles lives the high life no more as Ghost hijacks his plane and crashes it hard into the ground. And Neil gets a burial at sea. The company Ghost had dedicated his life to had spurned him. He could never trust anyone ever again. He wipes away all evidence of his past life, and look at how badass Ghost's mission statement is. Corporate hierarchy will always push to the top those who will oppress and exploit the true creative forces. So in this afterlife, he haunts them into oblivion. That is cool as hell. Now do you see why I think this fella's awesome? He's not just robbing banks because he loves money. He isn't killing people because it's fun. He does what he does because he thinks it's justice. But not all captains of industry are evil. Tony Stark, for example. But in the Ghost's twisted mind, corruption is at the core of corporations. Now, for the first time ever, Ghost battles Iron Man. And it's Iron Man in his best looking suit ever. Also, Ghost looks like he's wearing shades. Last issue was called Ghost's Story, and this one is just Ghost Story, but this one was published first, so it's fine. Why do Marvel heroes always have such flamboyant vests? Remember Peter Parker's animal crop top? Christ. Tony Stark is in sunny California to see through a deal for Stark Enterprises to absorb a company called Accutech. It's all gone smoothly so far, and Accutech is looking like a hot new asset for Stark. Perhaps a bit too hot, because a raging bushfire threatens to send Architect up in flames. Tony suits up and Iron Man rockets into the rescue. Iron Man handles the blaze, but the question of its origins eludes the Armoured Avenger. Assuming it was just a random natural disaster, Tony gets down to business at Architect, meeting with the board of directors and telling us that Architect are currently creating a beta particle generator for a cleaner, safer way to create energy. We also learn that Tony wasn't the only interested party. Accu-Tech was also approached by Roxxon Oil, a company of dubious morality. I have a feeling Roxxon didn't take the rejection well, but one of Architect's seniors fears another malicious entity. The Ghost. Company senior Abraham Zimmer swears that the old legend of a spooky cyber terrorist is true. But come on, we all know that ghosts don't actually exist. Even in Marvel, a world of gamma monsters, alien slime parasites, and Fin Fang Foom. Nobody believes Abraham, and his co-workers tire of his paranoid ramblings. This Architect deal is more important to Stark than he let on. He can only hope the transaction goes smooth as steel. Smooth as steel, is that a real saying, or did I just make that up for Iron Man? But Tony's fears are just speculation for now, while Old Man Abraham's are very, very real. He gets a warning from the Ghost. Just as Stark begins to finalise the acquisition of Architect, the paranormal becomes normal. Computers turn on by themselves, equipment floats across the room. Guards are assaulted by invisible assailants. Zoinks, something unnatural is going on at Architect. But to have the bravery to hunt a ghost, you'd need balls of steel. Or fists of iron. Iron Man makes the scene, and his scanners pick up something not quite otherworldly, but definitely eerie. The Ghost, and he's one smug spectre. Look at this dialogue.
Congratulations, you have succeeded where most others have failed, for you have indeed uncovered the ghost. But finding me is one thing, sir, while catching me, that is quite another.
Iron Man crashes through his recently bought walls as Ghost evades capture, and we get insight into this spectral scoundrel's twisted mind when he thinks about how he needs to destroy Architect. Needs to. He must. With only a heartbeat to lead Iron Man to his enemy, Ghost hides away in the loudest room on the property, so Iron Man uses sound against him with a sonic wave. Ghost is revealed. But the Ghost is as bone-chilling as his name implies. Caught between Iron Man and Architect security, Ghost threatens the guys not in high-tech power armor with a bomb. Tony's got no choice but to let Ghost walk as he saves the hostages. The Ghost escapes, but the haunting has only just begun. Ghost will have his revenge upon Iron Man, and it'll be through the murder of Tony Stark. Iron Man 220, and we've already done this one. This was a key issue in our Spymaster showcase, so let's speed through it from Ghost's point of view. Tony is so worried about the Ghost's grave threat that he's even sleeping in his armor. After weeks of waiting, Ghost strikes and shoots Tony dead. Lol JK, it's Spymaster baby, the original flavour. Tony Stark is his kill and no paranormal punk is gonna snake his bounty. Tony Stark distracts the Spymaster from the kill and blow, and the battle of the bad guys begins. Iron Man interrupts the supervillain showdown after a chase through Stark HQ, so Ghost offers Spymaster an escape using his phasing tech. Psych! Halfway through the wall, Ghost makes Spymaster rematerialize, brutally murdering the rival assassin. Because Tony Stark technically saved the Ghost's life from Spymaster, he is double pissed. But Iron Man has had enough. It's time to exorcise the Ghost once and for all. This is probably the last time I'll ever be talking about Iron Man 220, so look at this stupid retcon. Apparently, this was Spymaster faking his death. How? How the hell did he do that? His organs were crushed by the wall. Dark Reign made men had Norman Blonde Snapper Osborn hire the original Spymaster after tracking him down. How the hell is he alive after this? Iron Man issue 221, The Ghost. Busted! Yeah, get him, Iron Man. The Ghost returns to his own haunting grounds to prepare another strike against Iron Man. As he had promised the Armored Avenger, Tony Stark has been marked for death, but he's not the only name on Ghost's list. Roxxon Oil Company representative Carrington Pax will also be hearing the call of the void, because Pax is the man who first hired Ghost to destroy Acutech, then tried to have the Ghost assassinated by Spymaster when he went rogue. I told you Roxxon were bad news. But first, Tony Stark. And Ghost is gonna personally drag him to hell. Tony desperately needs Acutech to turn a profit, and soon, or he's bankrupt. But Tony's got more grave matters to attend to now. He's decked out in his home with so much security, even a ghost couldn't get in. He hopes. Ghost has Tony so on edge that even his employees think he's lost it. This is actually quite clever because Ghost wants Stark Industries taken down, and a company with no confidence in its leader can't be long for the world. In a last-ditch effort to get investors for his new beta particle generator, Tony hosts a demonstration that gets crashed by the Ghost. But the Ghost is the one who gets spooked when he springs Iron Man's trap. The demonstration was a setup, and now it's time for this nightmare to be put to rest. Ghost again shows he's not above dragging others to their graves. He lets loose guided bombs into the crowd and begins his exit strategy. The explosions are a good start, but Ghost goes so far as to hold a guard hostage to ensure his escape. Foolish Ghost has given us a trail to follow because while he doesn't give off body heat, the guard sure does. But the chill of death is all Iron Man finds. If the guard is dead, that means Ghost doesn't need him anymore, and that means that the Ghost must already know what he wants to know. The location of the real beta particle generator. Ghost's shot at the true generator dies quickly thanks to Iron Man. The generator overloads nearby electrical systems, short-circuiting Ghost's stealth tech, but overexposure fries the human brain. This needs to end now, and Iron Man knows it. Ghost may be out of weapons, but his life is nothing compared to his mission. He needs to destroy Stark's company, live or die. And Ghost chooses die. All Iron Man can do is watch as the Ghost commits slow suicide. If Ghost destroys the beta particle generator, Stark Industries dies. But Iron Man can come no closer because not even his high-tech armor will shield him from the generator's fatal effects. But, as if by divine intervention, Ghost fails at his mission. A second before he can reach the generator, his suit overheats to such a degree that he melts through the floor. All that remains of the phantom foe is a puddle of ectoplasm.
Or is it? For can you ever truly kill a ghost?
What a villain, this dude. Kicked ass, mate. Cool powers, cool design, mental motivation. What I loved about the Ghost is that he seems to genuinely believe he is the hero. He thinks corporations are evil, and that he's doing the world a favour by burning them down. The idea of a corporate raider who specialises in destroying companies was spectacular, and it's locked him in as a brilliant foe for Iron Man. I was a bit gutted that we saw him without his mask. I love the idea of never knowing who or what the Ghost really was, and I don't believe his sub-story origin for a second. The Ghost's modern design seems a bit try-hard to me. He was thin and gangly and dirty like a horror movie villain from The Ring or something. He whispers into your ear before phasing your heart out, and that's a bit crap. I think his original design and personality was best. He was cocky yet scary. He could back up all his taunts. He was a threat to everyone all at once, and what a showman. He wanted you to know you had earned the Ghost's wrath. Ghost is easily my favourite Iron Man villain for the design alone, but seeing how threatening he is to the fella wearing a friggin' tank make him one of the coolest villains in all of Marvel. Thanks for watching. Leave any ideas for what you want me to do next in the comments, and try to sleep tight.
If you can.